Alfayo and Manuel Tarus. So far we don't have genders.
Oh, this week we don't have agendas. Oh, that's too bad.
But I understand Anthony had an issue that he wants to share with the group. So Anthony, you have the mic.
No, we have a task about testing what point of care. Yeah, we have that task. So we have two options. That is reference app and the Kenya EMR. I've been trying deploying the reference app, but I've been getting a few issues because you find that within that module we have a WAR file for OpenMRS. Now, I think understanding how it's deployed is giving me a bit of headache. So I just wanted to ask if anyone has experience working with the reference app. Are you there?
Yeah, I don't have any experience with reference app, Anthony.
Okay.
Anthony, maybe you could share with us the kind of errors you're facing. Because although it is a reference app, it is still OpenMRS, so we could have an idea or two on how to go about those errors.
Yeah, the very first confusion was the fact that the module is shipped with a WAR file of OpenMRS 1.10, which I later on discovered that I don't have to use that.
Okay.
Yeah, then you find that I copied, I cloned the repo and packaged it, then copied all OMODs to the modules folder. Now when I restarted Tomcat, not even Tomcat could start. It was taking too long. Now I realized that a few modules are trying to start, but I think there is no defined order that is used when starting the modules. So you find that a module that requires another module to be up before it starts will fail when that module is not started. Did you hear that?
Yeah, Anthony.
Yes.
I heard you. So basically, you are using standalone?
No.
Yeah. How did you? I mean, I get the part that you have the application and then you copied. I think I don't. I'm not really sure if I understood when you said you copied something. You copied, I think, a WAR file, and then you copied the modules, and then you try to start Tomcat, right?
Yes.
And then it couldn't start because you have these different modules which depend on each other. So did you try maybe deleting those modules which are creating that problem?
Yeah, I think I messed up my instance, so I had to start again.
Okay.
Right now, I just dropped a few modules in the module, a few more mods in the modules folder, and wanted to see if they'll start.
Yeah. Okay. Reagan is there, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I think as a team we are supposed to, we are trying. The idea there, I think, is to. I'm just trying to get. I want us first to get the bigger picture, and then we can go into this specifics of trying to start modules and that kind of stuff. So we're trying to test the point of care application, and now we need to test. So our options is to test either Kenya EMR or the ref application, right? That's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and on the other side, there is oncology module, which is also, I haven't tried that yet. It's a point of care in a way. And I think it is also not starting for some reason because it has conflict with the customization module. So our task is the team, are we saying that we are dealing with these three issues right now? Ref app, Kenya MR, and oncology module? Is that how we are going about this?
There's actually a fourth one. We're also including the Faces stuff. So we still haven't received the modules from Faces, which is a custom version of Kenya EMR. So right now, what we're just doing is we're trying with the simplest, which we assume is the reference app.
Okay.
So once that's done, then we'll move on to Kenya EMR, set that up. Actually, Anton was telling me that that depends on the seal dictionary. I don't know, so we're going to try that out. And then we'll move on to the oncology module if it's ready, and then Faces.
Yeah, according to some, the oncology module is ready and it is working on when they tested on their instances. So the only issue, which seems, I'm not sure if it is the only, but now the issue that seems to be the problem right now is because you have customization module running, which creates conflict. And this is, I think it's an historical issue because we have been discussing this all the time. So I received an email from somebody. Okay, I don't remember the second name. Not Sam Bugua. This is different Sam, I think.
Sam Dichu.
Sam who?
Ndichu.
Yeah, I think so. So he suggested that we have a meeting with him. I suggested on Friday. He hasn't responded yet. So basically, we need to discuss how are we going to resolve this problem. And the thing is, when we had this discussion with the management and on the technical call, I think we want to provide some kind of point of care system. That is the focus right now, okay? So if oncology is going to work, I'm not sure. See, the thing is, things are not very clear right now. So we're trying to make Kenya EMR work, reference application work, and then oncology module work. And then are we going to pick from this, or we already have the solution? Like, if oncology works, then that is what we want. Or if Kenya MR works, then that's what we want. If ref app works, that is what we want. What are we really trying to do? We need to get the focus right so that we can, concentrate our effort on that one. And then I think things will be easy. Other than, I don't really think the way we are going about this is very effective. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, so the thing is, the oncology module just has an issue. It's when you log in, there's something like a login intercept that OpenMRS issues. The
Yeah.
thing that typically allows us to skip that page that says welcome and just takes you directly to AMRS. So the issue is once you deploy Nichu's module, then it doesn't work. It sort of takes over that intercept, or there is some sort of conflict there. So in essence, since this is production, and since we hope to deploy Nichu's module in production, we need both the customization module and the oncology module. But Sam insists that his stuff works fine as long as we don't have customization on. But the thing is, we need customization because we're using it in production. So that's the only. I mean, he's the only one who's tested. So that's the only issue that he's brought up. It's the only issue that we have on the table. But the thing is, it's a big issue because we need this other module running, the customization module. So in fact, the only thing that we're trying out really is Kenya EMR. It's the what I'd say it's the hard thing, the complicated thing, because we really haven't had experience installing that, and we have so many issues that we anticipate will be coming up. So this reference thing is just for comparison. It's not something that will take a lot of time. So our focus right now is on those two: the oncology module and the backup is Kenya EMR. But the only issue is that we need Sam to sort out the issues with the customization module, and we don't know how long that's going to take. So we're just trying the Kenya EMR as a backup because we need a solution, a quick solution.
Yeah, Regan, when you discussed this with when you had this discussion with Jeremy when he was still here, and actually even when he was gone, I think the kind of things which we need for customization module were not very serious at that moment. And besides, the customization module, as far as redirection is concerned, is just taking you to the find patient page instead of taking you to welcome to OpenMRIs. So if you are using oncology's point of care, it means we want oncology to control that redirection. We want, okay, it's not a very good idea to have that maybe, but since this is the point of care system module that it is the one that is going to have the POC, it means it is the one that is going to control how things are flowing in the system, which makes sense if we don't use customization. Anyways, I remember Miencha pointing out that customization is being used for, there are some other uses. He said setting the file size limit or something like that. I don't remember exactly. I have checked the notes. Yeah, so if you look at this that way, it seems like we can. I think maybe we should have a very serious discussion about customization module and working with oncology module, because it doesn't seem like it is really, really necessary to have customization module with oncology along each other.
Yeah, no, I think the only concern is that production is used by so many people. Oncology will be using it once the oncology point of care is installed, but we'll still be having data clerks, developers, people, there'll be all sorts of people using it, and each of them will want to see the interface that they used to. And the oncology guys will, of course, want the new interface. So the thinking around, I think the thinking which, when I've had a discussion with Martin, the thinking is that since the oncology module is coming on board, it shouldn't break what is already there.
Okay.
It shouldn't come in and cause us to make changes. It should try and fix itself.
Okay.
So that's the, and that's what Sam is supposed to work on.
Okay, great. So, okay, let me get this straight. So right now, if let's say we get the oncology module running and working as it should, according to Sam and the team that created the module, is that all? Is that what we need? What we need to have the Kenya EMR as well, or we need to keep on working on Kenya EMR along with the oncology module? Is that how things are right now?
No. The thing is, if the oncology module works, we don't need Kenya EMR. The only thing is, the oncology module is not within our scope. We're not the ones working with it. Sam is. So we're trying to not put all our eggs in one basket. So we are saying if Sam is unable to deliver, we should have something that we can use.
Okay, I get that. Okay. So if we, okay, I understand that. So basically, they haven't shared the source code of that module?
I have seen the source code. He has shared that.
Okay.
He's also shared the OMOD.
Okay.
But since we have a lot of things, we really haven't had. In fact, we have instructions to more or less not work on it, to let Sam work on it and let him finish. resolving the issue with the customization module.
Okay, great. So Sam is supposed to resolve whatever is creating problems with creating conflict with the customization module. That is Sam's responsibility, right?
Yes.
Okay. So basically, according to the meeting which you had with Martin, I suppose we just assume that we don't need to change customization at all. Is that what it is?
Yes.
Okay, great. So in that case, why don't we do one thing? I mean, it seems like oncology module can run without customization module, right?
Yes.
In that case, if we try to test that on, for example, on test server, just turn off the customization, put the module on, and see how it works.
Yeah, we can do that. That's a nice idea. Uh, I guess, in fact, eventually we might just have to create a different OpenMRS instance that probably just links to the current AMRS database. So that instance will probably have the oncology module. But it's just that we wanted everything in one instance. But yeah, we'll give that a try as well. I think Nyancha has the OMOD, so we'll just get that from him and deploy it on test server, see how it works.
Yeah, my focus here is to get the team's efforts focused and effective. I mean, right now it's like we are so scattered, you know. So because we have all these issues, still we have the production. It's not yet perfect because we have so many issues on there. Okay, and now if we try to work on the Kenya MRC, if we have developers under pressures right now because we have the system that is running but has so many errors and there are so many other things to be fixed. So if you want to put one developer on Kenya MR creating all these problems, and basically we need to work together to get the system running. You know, the thing is, getting the system running is one thing, and then evaluating is completely another. And then we have to go to the ref app, and basically ref app is different issues because I see those things on emailing lists every day. So if we also need to take on that, that's going to be a lot of work, which will be unrealistic for us because, I mean, eventually we don't have that much time. So if you can concentrate our efforts on something that works, that we are sure that it works, and then I'm sure we can work something with Sam to fix whatever problem it is with oncology module, and it can be used instead of, you know, spreading all our efforts everywhere, and then at the end of the day, we won't be having anything.
I agree, Willa, but let me be candid. I think the issue here is more political than technical.
Okay.
I'll explain. The sense is there's been a team of people from Ampath who've been going around. I think you had that during the last call.
Yeah.
Last management.
Yeah.
Yeah. So these guys, the Ampath leadership, are extremely excited about Kenya EMR. They eat, breathe Kenya EMR. So they want us to set up a Kenya EMR instance. But in the same breath, there was already some work that Gichu had already started working on, and the political issue around that is we can't work on Gichu stuff because, you know, it's his contract. He should fix those issues. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, I do understand.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that we look. I'm not saying that we should fix Sam's stuff for him. What I'm saying is we can work with him and make his task easier for him. And I mean, if we make his task easier and the oncology is working, then that is easier even for us because now you don't have to go. See, the thing with Kenya MR, if you compare to the Ampath Dev Pro, I'm not really sure if it is going to map exactly to the way it should. I mean, we can easily work on it and, you know, modify code here and there, just try to make it conform to what we want in our system, but still, that's going to be a lot of work. And according to Martin, I mean, we had that meeting with Martin, and it's like the time that is allocated for that is it's not very long. So, the idea is not to work on that oncology module and fix it. The idea is to work with Sam and make it easy for him. You know.
I agree. I think.
Yeah, that's the message I actually posted on the web. That's the message that's good.
Okay, then what I will do is I'll get in touch with Sam today. I'll ask him to share the link to the most recent source, and I'll also ask him to share the list of issues that he's noticed with the module so far. We'll also deploy it here, hopefully before we leave or early tomorrow, and then we'll agree on when we can all like get together on IRC or something. And I don't know. What do you think of that? That sounds like a good plan.
Yeah, that's a good plan. Yeah, we can get on IRC or Hangout and then just have a discussion with him. So in that sense, I was thinking of today is Wednesday, so I was thinking Friday is good. We can have at least I'll have time to go through some of those things which are creating conflict in customization module, and then we can have discussion with some. But the starting point is for us to have that system, that encourage module on, I don't know, somebody can have, one of us, on the dev team can have that module running on one of our instances, especially on dev server. I mean, you can easily turn customization module off and then put encourage on and see what happens. And look, just explore the module at least. And then if we have to set up a separate instance, like you said, Miencha could do that, and then that can be done, and then Encourage can be running on that instance, connecting to this database. Yeah, that's fine also. So we have all those options with us. I mean, I just see that it's easier for us right now as a short-term. See, because when we were discussing this with the management team, we had to have a short-term solution and a long-term solution. These guys, when you are in the management call or meeting, the idea is to, when you listen to that call and discussion, the idea is to get the solution, okay? So eventually, these guys, they don't care what the solution is. I mean, who is giving the solution and how is it being delivered? The thing is, it should be there when they need it, okay? So if we go down that road of REF application or Kenya AMR, I think it's going to be a very, what do you call it, steep curve, as compared to trying to work on this encourage module and then have the system running, and then, okay, I just hope everybody is happy, and then we are focusing on the long-term plan. If we are going to make something like Kenya AMR, fine, but in this span of time, I don't think that is realistic.
Okay, agreed, Willa. We'll focus on the oncology module. We'll deploy that to the test server, and probably schedule a hangout for tomorrow in the afternoon, once all of us have had a chance to look at it.
Yeah. Okay. I guess I just said what I wanted to say on that. So, yeah, but still, if Anthony wants to discuss about those problems, yeah, we can still go on and discuss about them and see how we can get there. I think it's also not that difficult to get the ref up running.
Yeah, it should be really difficult actually.
Yeah, so you could try that. I mean, if you see the issue with OpenMRS, sometimes when you have all these problems with modules, you can try removing all the module and start adding one module after another, and then that way you can easily know which module starts, which one depends on what. If the only issue is modules, if there's another issue, then that's another problem. But if it's just modules and all these conflicts, you can just get rid of all of them from the folder and then start adding one after another, and then after that you'll know which one depends on what and how to start them.
Yeah.
I hope that helps. I was trying to find the link for the Google Doc, which we were supposed to actually be recording this stuff, but I failed. Do you guys remember?
The wiki link? Is that what you said, Willa?
No, not wiki link. The Google Doc link. You know, the first time, I think a couple of weeks ago, Bark suggested that we use Google Drive to record whatever we are discussing on the call. And he created some document and we did some recording there a little bit, and then somehow I don't remember exactly how we got that. So I was trying to recreate that so that you can be doing that in this call or any other subsequent call for that matter.
I think Buck sent a link. I think we'll look for it. If we get it, we'll forward it to you on IRC.
Yeah, I was thinking of creating another one actually for this call specifically. But anyway, I think we can easily record this stuff on the you know, on the wiki as usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can. So we had a meeting with the LAC PI this morning, and there were some issues that Raj raised about Muzima. So he asked that Martin was there as well, and Martin asked that I forward these two issues to you. One is on the cohorts. So when cohorts are being downloaded, when Muzima is setting up, at some point, if the phone goes into hibernate, or if the phone, for some reason, something causes that process to stop, like a message is received or a call is received or something like that, then apparently re-downloading those cohorts becomes an issue. So I don't know, I think there was some discussion that you had with Manu, something like a file was being locked during the download process, but it's not, the lock on that file is not released. If the phone goes into hibernate or something like that. So anyway, so there was that issue on downloading huge cohort sets. And then the second issue was on what Judy brought up, where she said that when you update OpenMRS with a new form, that form is not available on Muzima. So there are a couple of other issues, but I think we can handle those. But those, Martin asked that I forward them to you. I'll create the tickets and then I'll, oh, they're already there. The tickets are already Muzima 16? Yeah, so I think the tickets are already there. I remember, I think we discussed them when we had that chat with Prasanna. So anyway, so the plan is Raj and the team are planning to roll out Muzima to the field next week, mid next week, Wednesday next week. So they actually have begun their study, but they've begun using paper forms. So hopefully by Wednesday they can migrate now to using the mobile device.
Yeah, I think we're doing some testing using our test server right now, Regan. And there's a couple issues still, and we're trying to sort out this issue. But the form issue is documented on Mozilla 26 or 27, I think. And I'm trying to fix that one right now. The fix is in place. It's just a matter of testing.
Yeah, I saw that. That's what I told them. But
Yeah.
And then there were two other issues, but they were minor. One was the help section. Like if you go to the help section of Muzima, all you get is just the word help and an exclamation mark. So I don't know if you can get in touch with Ada. So Martin recommended that Ada develop some sort of a help document, or at least lead that process of developing like the help section of Muzima, the document, and then we can either put that document into Muzima or add it as a text file or put it as a I don't know, as a web page which is loaded via web view. I don't know, something like that. But just put something on the help section. And then the second was the build version. Like in Muzima, you should be able to go to like the settings page and see what version of Muzima this is.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so that those two we can take care of. I'll just get in touch. But if you can find Ada, maybe you can give a heads up on the help stuff.
Ada is on the call. I think we can provide some sort of help page.
Say it one more time.
Sorry. So there was a discussion this morning with the LAC team, and we wanted to update the help section of Muzima, because right now if you go to the help section of Muzima, it's just the word. So Martin asked me to ask you to help to lead that process of just developing content for what should be in the help section of the Muzima application.
So what exactly you guys want to display on the help section?
I mean, imagine it's stuff like, how to log in, how to fill a form for a particular patient, how to view observations. I guess it's that kind of thing. It's more like a tutorial, except I don't think it can be very big or very thorough.
I think we have actually the CDM team have some very useful documents on the user guide, and then I think we can link it to kind of like a PDF viewer or something like that. Let me just file a ticket and provide the information that we have, but it needs to be incorporated by a developer to update on the help session.
Okay, thanks, Ampath.
Is there any other thing to share?
But I don't know if this is relevant, but basically, I had Wheeler talk about the issues in production. So I don't know if that is still part of your priority, because I've had complaints come through. That's why I wanted to come and also discuss a few issues with you guys. And mainly, the three issues revolve around search and the view buttons. So those are the key issues that basically I have. So I don't know whether we want to discuss that right now, or should I leave it for tomorrow?
I think it's worth discussing. I don't know if you guys got what Boniface said. He was. Did you guys get it?
I got part of it, like 70%. He's talking about the issue on production, I think, and how people are complaining about all these problems.
Yeah, the patient search and the view button when you're editing encounters.
Yeah. Yeah. So the patient search. What about it now?
So Wheeler, I don't know how defined your fix was basically, because I remember when you talked about it, it was mainly to assist in search using numbers. I don't know whether you incorporated the text for the name also, because for some reason, if someone wants to search using a name, if they put, for example, B, it looks for B, put O, it looks for all O's. So the search takes a very long time. So I don't know whether the fix was established for both, because ideally, in some cases, you'd find if probably a number is missing or something is not correct within the number, they would want to use the name to see whether it's to find the correct number for that patient. So the search issue is still kind of slowing down issues in relation to data entry.
Yeah, it is actually the search based on text is working. It is working. So when you search using, you say it is searching based on one letter. Is it what you're saying?
Yeah, that's what it's doing. That's the behavior right now. For example, if you want to look for Boniface, when you type BON,
Yeah.
it looks like it's looking for every letter.
Okay, that depends on search string. I think it is configurable. Maybe it is configured to be 1. It can be configured to be any number of letters we want. So I suppose you guys think 3 is the reasonable one, right? 3 number of letters or 4, maybe. Right, Bonnie? You want for the search to start from 3 characters, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is configurable. If it is not configurable, then it is something that is in the code, which means it will involve deploying another WAR file. But I think it is configurable. I'll check that out. Yeah, I'll check that out. I can do it right now anyway.
Okay.
And then, yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
The other issue that also relates to search, within a form, there is a lookup that the one that looks for the provider.
Okay.
The search box that appears, when you put there a number, let's say, for example, 64, it looks for all providers who have the number 64 and displays there. So I think Anthony, we were with Anthony when we were reviewing this, and I filed a ticket on the same. So I was kind of suggesting if you're looking at the search issue both at the on the patient dashboard, you also look at what is happening within the form. And Anthony has an idea. Probably he could talk a little bit more about this.
Yes. Okay. Our observation was that when you try to search providers and I think provider, what's the convention?
Provider ID.
Yeah, provider ID. Well, the numeric keypad characters are recognized as letters and not digits. It was a bit funny because when you use the numeric keys above the QWERTY stuff, it's just fine. But when you use the other one on the side, it never works.
Can you explain that again? Yeah, I didn't get that.
Okay. Let me first get some clarification here so that I do the right thing. How do we call this? Numeric keypad.
Functional.
Function keys.
No, these are not functional keys.
In the numeric.
Huh? Now, Wheeler.
Yes.
On your keyboard, I don't know whether you have a separate numeric keypad on the right side of the keyboard. I know that's not true for Macs, but ours have.
I have the keyboard. Yeah, just go ahead. I have the keyboard. The keyboard like that.
There are two alternatives for numeric. Entries. That is, you can use the one on the right side, or you can use the one that is the one that is just beneath the functional keys.
Okay.
So you find that the one which is below the functional keys works. They work very fine, but when you use the other numeric keypad on the right, those characters are recognized as letters, whereby when you press one, you see H, you press 2, you see G.
Okay.
So they are misinterpreted, and that's the problem.
Wait a minute. That is not OpenMRS problem. That is. Did you try it on another keyboard?
Actually, yes, and then we opened a very simple stuff. We launched a Word application and tried using the keyboard.
Yeah.
They are just, they work fine.
Okay, that is very strange. That is very strange. Because
So I think that was also part of the investigations that actually Anthony pointed out. But the key thing to look at is, and the ticket is actually there, is that we don't know why it displays. For example, if you're searching for a provider who has the number 64, we are not sure why it displays all providers who have the number 64. So, for example, it will display 1664, 164, 64. Any number like that, and it becomes very difficult for one who is capturing data to start flipping through all those numbers to find the provider that they need. So if you look at that ticket, I've put the details of the screenshots on what was happening to explain a little bit what the users are experiencing in terms of the search, and you can easily reproduce whatever we are talking about through following the contents of the description of that particular ticket.
So
okay,
what?
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
Should it mean that when they search providers, they are expected to key in the full provider ID?
Or should they just get the results that start before they key in?
Yeah, I think
the search is usually defined. For example, if you put 164 you automatically get the provider, because these numbers are unique for all the providers. You're not supposed to get all providers who use the number 64. You're only supposed to get the only one who has 164. And not the rest who have 64 in their numbers.
Who have 164 in their numbers?
Who have 64, for example.
So, okay, my understanding is when for you to search, when searching, you are expected to key in the complete provider ID, right?
Yeah. In some cases, even no.
If in some cases no, I think then it should be left the way it is.
Yeah, I think what is happening is that is searching on. It is trying to match on the text appearing anywhere in the ID.
I think the issue that is coming out is. Yeah, even if you do that, it gives you all the numbers existing that have that combination, which is not something that was there originally. So that's the biggest.
Bonnie, Bonnie, what are you saying? What do you mean combination? Are you saying that if you input 64, you'll get a number that has 46 on it with it?
I mean, you can test one right now. I don't know if it's possible. Are you guys accessing that?
That is on InfoPath, right?
Oh, it's in Linux. Okay.
No, I mean,
yeah, Bonnie, that is on InfoPath, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, first of all, you are getting the keyboard issue. You are getting those characters on InfoPath, right? When you are typing on InfoPath.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's a very good possibility that
details from a table that displays from the provider.
Oh, he is asking about the keypad stuff.
Actually, I had a look at that thing, and I noticed that, for instance, if you type in 94-1, so that last one, for some reason, it's only displayed momentarily before it's changed to something like F. Right? And then when you hit enter, you actually get the 94 and it comes back again. So it looks to me as though there's some sort of background request. Like when you type in, as you type out the code, some request comes back with a list of results and somehow modifies what you've typed.
Yeah, Regan, what happens is when you type, the requests are being sent, they are being fired to the system. So if you type something like when you are trying test, so there will be something for depending on the amount of time you have set for the event handler to fire the event when typing. If it is too short, if you just press one character, it will send a request. The second one, it just send another request. But if the time is relatively long, it is reasonable amount of time, enough to enter 3 characters. So it means after entering 3 characters, the first request will be sent. So if you modify that, if you modify that such, you add more characters, then the request for those more characters will be sent. So automatically, if there was some results that was returned before you modified you modify your search, it means you will see them immediately. And then, depending on the number of characters, the modification we've done on your searching the search text, then you'll get new results based on that new search text, and then that one will override the previous result. So that's just how it works. But what Bon is reporting now is actually it is interesting. So I just asked him. I just want to be clear. When you enter 64, do you get something with 46 in it, or just things with 64?
Ones with 64. I
Okay.
mean, you need to use InfoPath. I know you guys are not using. You don't have that. You don't have Office installed in your machines. But possibly, if you find time, you can access a machine that you're able to open forms using InfoPath, and then follow the ticket description to reproduce the problem. Even if you've never looked for a provider within MRS when you're submitting a form during data entry, you will realize that there is a problem in whatever you're seeing.
I don't know. I'm not sure. When I looked at it, and admittedly this was my first time, when I looked at it, it didn't seem to me like it was a problem.
It is a problem actually, because I don't expect when I'm looking for 64-1 to get
all the results with
combination.
64-1.
I don't expect to get, because that number is unique for that person who was created in the system. So I would expect to just get that provider and proceed with that entry. I'm not supposed to get 20 results to select from.
That have 64-1.
64-1, yeah. So 164 dash probably 4, 364-8. Why would I get all those when actually I need only 64-1?
No, I mean, I get it. I guess initially the query must have been something like, give me all the results
that matches this.
that have 64-1
Yes.
only. But somebody thought that, hey, I can improve this by saying, give me all the results that have 64-1 within them. Which I thought would be, that's what I'm saying, I thought that would be an improvement.
No, it's not an improvement. It has an impact on data entry. Yeah, and users are actually complaining. You know, the user experience in the past and right now is different. Actually, it kind of like delays the process of entering data.
So users
worth looking before we rule it out as.
Bonnie,
Yeah.
are you saying that users are not ready for improvement? It's like users do not want to change. They don't like improvement.
Not users do not like improvements. I'm just pointing something out that could be a deviation from based on.
Kidding. I'm kidding, Bonnie. I'm kidding. Okay.
I understand you, but I'm just pointing out that there is an experience that was not there previously. That probably, if there is a workaround or there is a fix that could assist the users experience whatever was there initially, despite the fact that we've changed the system, I think it would be important because is kind of not working the way it's supposed to, or probably from the past experience. I mean, if they share that there is an issue, probably we need to look at and find out if there's something that we can fix. For me, looking at that, how that search displays, I mean, brings a lot of questions, because if you are supposed to look for 64-1 in several combinations that have 64, I mean, it becomes an issue, especially if I only need to pick 64-1.
I get that, but
yeah.
idea.
So, Bonnie, just to be
Yes.
clear, is it maybe this problem is specific with 64-1 because you kept on repeating that same number?
That's an example. You can get different combination of numbers that.
No,
that would.
I think the issue here is. I think it's just the query, the way the query is formatted. You know, you can think of like using like but having wildcard characters.
Sure.
You know, so you put a wildcard, you know, like percentage before and after, and then whatever you want in the middle. So you're just saying, give me everything that has this combination.
But I think the way it matches the first whatever matches the string you entered.
Yeah. It's there. You see, what he's looking for 64-1 is there. It's just that it's one among many that have 64-1. And he doesn't want that. He only wants 64-1. He doesn't want 364-1 or, you know. Right?
So Bonnie, are you... Okay, again, sorry. You can just finish. No? You're done?
I am.
Okay, Bonnie, I just wanted to be clear. So, for example, this 64-1, this is the complete identifier for the specific provider?
Yes.
It is just 64-1, that's it.
That's an example, Willa.
yeah, I know that's an example, but I'm saying do you expect this as a complete identifier, like this is the full identifier for the provider? No any extra numbers, nothing?
Yes.
Okay, great. And okay, if I ask you, because we have several issues here going on. We have the patient search, we have this thing on form filling, yeah. We have the encounter thing. How would you arrange them in order of priority? Like this one should be fixed first, is better, and then the next one and the third. How would you prioritize them?
I'll probably want to reorder whatever we have and look at, probably I need to push the provider search just before the issues about concept resolution, so that we start from patient search, we go to HL7, we go to there's another ticket there before I can move the provider one there, because the provider one affects the process of data entry. It's You're required to put a provider before you submit a form, and if there are issues experienced around that, so I think I'll move that up. I'll reorder those tickets so that you can look at what order that needs to follow.
Okay, you mean those tickets are ordered according to priority?
Yes, sir. It's
Okay.
only the provider one that is below, which I need to move up.
Okay, I was thinking they are ordered according to the date, the time they were entered in the system. I didn't know it was priority based. Thanks for that.
Thanks to.
Actually, what you guys asked last time was that you want all those items affecting production to be listed, to be logged in as tickets in order of priority, and that's what we try to do.
Before we begin implementing a fix for that, I'm not sure, does an info path, like when you run a search on info path, it must go through a module, right, on OpenMRS, yeah, before it hits the database. So if we change the OpenMRS code, how do you know that other modules or other functionality isn't calling the same code? Like if we specify we want only the search results that have this specific string, maybe there are other modules that expect this string, a set of results where this string is part of the results. See what I mean?
I think Regan. Okay.
No.
If I just add, okay, before, okay, we talk about past experience. What were they doing for them to, okay, for the list of providers to be displayed? As in, were they hitting an enter button?
A command button. You hit a command button, it gives you the search box, the task pane, and then you put the provider number there, and you display the provider, you click on it, and provider number.
The question is
appended to the form.
What will tell that now I'm through with keying in the provider ID so that.
No, it's as you type the identifier, just as well as as you type the identifier, you get results displayed. Yes. That's how it's always been, except then it was very specific. Like if it was 64.1, just give me the results that are only 64.1, not have 64.1.
Oh, okay.
So, like that's normal consideration is that it could be that InfoPath makes a search, a patient search using code that is used by other modules. So if other modules or other functionalities using the same code and we modify it, we'll get good behavior on InfoPath, but other modules will be affected and other workflows will be weird. Because if somebody else expects that when I type, maybe they have a form on OpenMRS, a module or something, when they are typing there, they expect all the results that have 64.1. Yet you guys expect just the results that have only 64.1. See, so it will work for you, then they will get confused.
Okay. I think we, if you guys have time, probably tomorrow, we can go back to the data cloud and get that user experience so that as you look at the ticket, you can connect the two and try to figure out if whatever we're talking about makes sense. Or yeah, that would be easier.
Yeah, Regan, I just wanted to make something clear when you were talking about the OpenMRS code. The OpenMRS, it supplies the API to search the. You remember that code when we were looking to improve the patient search, the one in patient service. Yeah. So if you look at that code, the methods, you will see that you can supply any type of argument, whether you want exact match, whether you want to be match on different type of matches. So basically, what happens is I haven't checked the code for form entry. I think form entry is the one that is executing that search, and depending on the parameters that are being passed to those API methods, that's when you get the different kind of results. Whether you get you get the like or equal sign, depending on how you are calling those methods. So basically, I don't think we need to modify the patient search.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's nice. So we just need to modify the request. That's it.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, and then the last item is about, I think, Wheeler, you're aware of this, about the edit and view button. I mean, Probably at this level, there is nothing that a developer can do, or there's something that a developer can do. But basically, what we wanted to find out if ideally the workflow has changed in terms of being able to view and edit the encounters. I mean, we need to figure out if we need to create another new role that a data clerk role will inherit privileges from to only enable them view whatever they've submitted and not edit. Because as it is right now, the view button allows, if you give them privileges to use that button, they're able to edit. Yet that is a function of a different role. So basically at this level, we just want to find out if for real that workflow has changed, or if it has not changed, is it possible to bring back the edit button that was there previously? But if that is not possible, then probably we need to figure out if we need to create a new role and then make the data clerk inherit privileges from that role so that they're only able to view and not edit any encounter.
Yeah, okay, so Bonnie, you are saying,
Yes.
so basically, okay, I think I misunderstood this problem when we discussed it last week, because we had the same discussion last week. So basically you're saying that right now the data clerk can see that view icon, right? But when they click,
No,
they have
right now,
yeah.
right now they are not able to see that view icon, and basically it's because their role does not have the privileges to allow them to view it. But if they inherit that privilege from a different role, they'll be
Okay.
able to, yeah, and that's not what we want.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Okay, but have you tried to give them view privilege?
if I give, if per my discussion with Miencha, if they inherit from the data quality manager, they'll be able to view. And they will also be able to edit that encounter, which is a function that they are not supposed to.
So that's
No,
really
I'm not
bad.
saying they should inherit that role from the data. What did you say? Sorry, data quality manager. I'm saying give them view privilege. Do they have that privilege?
No, I think what Bonnie is saying is if he does, he also gives them implicitly the functionality, the ability to edit.
No.
Like,
Reagan, I think there is a difference. Okay, I'll try it myself. But I think the issue here is, see, just because you see the view icon doesn't mean that the way it behaves for me as a developer or the data quality manager, it is exactly the same way it will behave for the data clerk. The icon might be the same, but depending on your privilege, you might be able only to view, and somebody else with the privilege to edit might be able to edit. So I just want to test that.
okay.
You know,
Okay.
so maybe they'll get the same icon, but when they click, they won't be able to edit.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, let me go a little bit back. With 1.8, the way the roles were created and privileges assigned, based on whatever would appear on your screen when you hit on Encounter tab, you'll be able to see two links. There's an edit link and view link.
Yeah.
So
Right.
if you had a role that allowed you to view both edit and to see both edit and view links, then you do that. But for a data class, they're only allowed to see the view link, and then within that view link, it only displayed a few. It only displayed a few variables as submitted using the form. So that is what data clerk used to use to see whatever data they've submitted to the database.
Yeah.
They never used to hit edit because that their role did not have that privilege. But what we have now in 1.9, we don't have that edit link. We only have view, and for that view, it gives you power to edit if you have a
Bonnie, sorry, I think I understood you correctly. So basically what I was trying to say, and I think maybe I didn't get my point through as I should, what I'm trying to say is you can have that view icon. You know, the idea is to minimize the number of clicks somebody has and to minimize the number of confusion, okay? So basically, on this particular icon view, I haven't checked the code yet. I just wanted to verify to be sure. But on this particular icon view, maybe the way it is designed is if you have the edit privilege, you have both edit and view. There is no point for you having two icons. You just click one icon, and if you want to edit, you can be able to edit, and at the same time you can see the data, you can view it. Okay. But if you don't have edit privilege, you can still see the same icon. But when you click it, you can only see the data. You won't be able to edit. That could be the difference. So it doesn't mean just because somebody can see the view icon, and because it behaves as an edit icon for system developer or for some other role, it means that everybody who can see that icon will be able to edit. No, it doesn't mean, it doesn't work that way. It could be that if you give the view privilege to the data clerk, they will see the view icon and they will edit. They won't be able to edit. They will just see the view icon. When they click, they'll just see the information, but they won't be able to edit. So that's something I need to verify. I just wanted to make sure that is clear.
Okay, and also remember that I think some of the privileges are inherited from certain roles, and you cannot easily just go to that role and say allow this person to view, because they're inheriting
from the role. Yeah, right. Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Let me clarify. Really, you go ahead and have a look. But what you'll notice is, if you have that view button and you click on it, and as you have both permissions, you have view and edit, then what will happen is the stuff that you're viewing will all be in input field.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
then there's a button at the bottom saying save.
Yeah.
So, but assuming if I log in again, I have the same view button, but I don't have rights to it. I have only rights to view.
Okay.
So when I click on the view link, what happens is the same stuff, instead of being displayed as just normal text, it's displayed in fields. So you get the same text in input fields, and there's still a button saying save. So it gives you the impression that you can edit.
There's the button. Yeah, I get it. So there's a button that says save, but the stuff is just in text. There's no input fields, right?
Exactly. So some guys.
Yeah.
So what the team is scared of is, because it seems like they can edit, they don't give anyone the view role, because giving them the view role gives people the idea that they can edit.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I understand that. I just wanted to make sure that we're on the same page. I mean, I'm not saying that's how the system behaves. I just wanted to. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. So I'll take a look on that.
Okay, fine. Feel free to ask me any questions you may have along that. And Miencha, especially because he's the guy who assigns privileges to guys.
Okay. Yeah, that is the Bonnie. You said that is data clerk, right?
Sorry?
Data clerk. That's the one that has the. That's the problem. That data clerk, right?
Yeah, the data clerk needs to view whatever they've submitted, but if they're allowed to do that, they'll be able to edit. I hope it's clear.
Okay. Okay, fine. We are past our time, anyway.
Okay.
So thank you all for attending. Bye, guys.
Okay, bye, Ellie. Nice.
Bye.
Bye.